Now we have something I'm very excited about, the Eason Top Picks for Inspirational Irish Life Stories. First up we have Samantha Power, The Education of an Idealist. She left Ireland aged 9 and has since made her way into the White House, working closely with Obama. She was the youngest ever US ambassador to the UN. She also juggles all of this while raising 2 kids. Next up we have the phenomenal Katherine Collins. This book, Belonging, talks about how Katherine joined a local history class 10 years ago, and little did she know where it was going to lead her. Regardless of all the resistance and some very difficult times, she exposed to the world what happened to the mothers and babies in the Tuam baby home, and we owe her a debt of gratitude. One of Ireland's most amazing writers, the fantastic John McGahern. This is a memoir about his very sad loss of his mother and then growing up with a father who was full of anger and rage. And John found solace in books. Thank God he became a writer and he gave us the beauty of his wonderful words. And now we have the one and only Edna OBrien, called Country Girl after her first book, Country Girls, where she actually was pretty much run out of Ireland because it was considered so controversial. She went to London and she has eventually been hailed as one of our most precious and phenomenal writers. Next up we have John Cameron, Boy 11963. This is a heartbreaking story about John. He was abandoned, he was fostered, then he was put into the Artane Industrial School where he was physically and sexually abused. He went back to find out the truth of where he came from and who he is. An unputdownable but devastating read. The one, the only, Vicky Phelan. We in this country owe her a debt of gratitude, particularly women, because of what she has done and the campaigning she has done for cervical screening. Vicky has never had an easy road and she is an absolute phenomenon. And now, Robert Harris, Returning Light. Robert is the warden on Skellig Michael. What he explains to us is how you can feel you really belong in a very isolated place. It is a beautiful book about nature, the beauty of it and the comfort of it. Next up, Mary McAleese. Does she need any introduction? Mary McAleese, in her memoir, tells us of being burnt out of her house and having a very difficult time during the sectarian violence in the north. In this very honest and raw memoir, Mary takes us back from her childhood all the way to the heights of becoming the President of Ireland. Emily Pine's Note to Self. This is an absolutely gorgeous series of essays on what it's like to be a woman in the modern world. Emily bears herself raw. She talks about her struggles with infertility. She talks about the death of her father. I think that every woman should read this because there is something for everybody in these incredible essays. And finally, Did You Hear Mammy Died? By Seamus OReilly. This is a very tender book about growing up when his mother dies and himself and his 10 siblings are left with a poor bewildered father trying to manage them. It's warm and it's gorgeous and it's funny and it's also very, very sad. And there we have it. What an incredible selection of Irish life stories. I'm inspired. I hope you are too.